this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
The real recovery starts after the final whistle. And that's where Minky Couture comes in. From leading Ole Miss to the pros, Jackson Dart knows peak performance means knowing how to come down, too. That's why he teamed up with Minky Couture to create a collection as tough as his game and as soft as his downtime. When the crowd is gone and your body is still buzzing, Minky Couture is the blanket built for the moments after the game takes everything out of you. Shop the Jackson Dart collection now at minkycouture.com. That's MINKYCOUTURE.com. Minky Couture.
Why should you listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand?
We're not boring. A lot of news is boring.
And tedious.
And depressing.
And makes you angry. You don't want to live your life like that.
Hey, I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty.
We're Armstrong and Getty.
We try to bring you the truth.
And help you figure out this crazy modern world.
How about something about a comedic tone?
We have a winner.
Yes. Listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand on the iHeartRadio app,
Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Anybody who's looking at this carefully realizes that there's a distinct anti-science flavor to this. So if they get up and criticize science, they're really criticizing science because I represent science. What I was doing was saying, here are the data of why vaccines are safe and effective, so we should be getting people vaccinated.
You're listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson.
Good Tuesday morning. It's nice to have you with us on the 47 Morning Update, and we've got one truly unbelievable story for you. President Trump, it's now being reported, was secretly rushed out of Turkey, hiding in a catering truck as Air Force One became a decoy. All because of a credible Iranian assassination threat. I've got the stunning details for you. It's the 47 Morning Update, and it starts right now.
Story number one.
What we're learning this morning about the security threat against President Donald Trump is absolutely extraordinary. Because according to new reporting from the Washington Post investigation, the threat from Iran became so serious that the United States carried out an elaborate deception to secretly get the president out of Turkey. And this may sound like something out of a spy movie. The Washington Post is now reporting that this happened on July 8th, after President Trump attended the NATO summit. Now, according to the report, there was a credible Iranian assassination threat against the president. And American security officials apparently decided they were not going to take any chances. So they created a decoy. Insert the spy movie right now. President Trump was seen publicly boarding the older Boeing 747 used as Air Force One. Cameras saw him get on the plane. Reporters believed he was on that plane. Even some White House staff apparently believed the president was on that aircraft. But according to the Washington Post, that wasn't what actually happened. Trump was secretly moved from the 747 Air Force One and transported across the airport in something nobody would expect the president of the United States would be riding in, an airport catering truck. That kind of vehicle normally used to load food and supplies onto an airplane. If you fly often, you see that truck pulled up right when you're walking on the plane, bringing on, well, drinks and beverages and food and taking away old beverages and trash and whatever else. That is how they moved the president. Now, that catering vehicle reportedly transported the president to a completely different aircraft. That was an Air Force C-32A, the smaller military jet commonly associated with senior government travel. Then we're told that Trump secretly departed Turkey aboard that aircraft while the 747 effectively served as a decoy. Now, I want you to think about the level of planning involved here. You have television cameras watching one airplane. You have journalists aboard that airplane. You have the White House personnel aboard that airplane as well. And meanwhile, the President of the United States is being quietly transported across the airport on the tarmac in a catering truck to board another military aircraft because officials are so concerned about the potential Iranian threat against his life. Now, the Washington Post reporting also says that Trump's actual aircraft flew to RAF Mildenhall in Britain. Reuters, citing the Post reporting, says the extraordinary security operation was considered a credible Iranian assassination threat. And here's what makes the story even more remarkable. At the time, the public explanation was completely different. Trump had said he was using the older Air Force One essentially, quote, for old time's sake. When reporters asked whether the Iranian threats were behind the unusual travel arrangements, Trump dismissed that idea, and he explained that the plane change, and he just said he pointed out that the threats against him were nothing new. He said Iran had him at the top of its list. Here's how CNN also reported the breaking news story to their audience from Anderson Cooper.
Good evening from the newsroom. We begin with a remarkable new twist to a story already full of them. New reporting in the Washington Post about the president's return from the NATO summit in Turkey, which already included a change of planes, with the president, or so we thought, taking his old blue 747 for the first leg of the trip, instead of this new Qatari gift, red 747, which he boarded for the second leg from England back to the U.S. Now, we were told at the time it was to give troops in England a better look at the new plane, which had left Turkey earlier. That wasn't true, and everybody knew it wasn't true at the time. The switch was for security reasons, and now the Post is reporting that the threat was so severe, there was a second switch onto a third plane. The president was not on this plane at all. Instead, according to the Post, even as members of the press were boarding from the rear door, the president, who we just showed you climbing the front steps, was leaving the plane, leaving on one of these. Quoting now from the Post, he was secretly shuttled minutes later to a smaller plane, an Air Force C-32A, via an airport catering truck typically used to load meals and other supplies pre-flight, according to U.S. official and corroborating material reviewed by the Post. The Post asked the White House for comment. The White House instead provided a statement about the new 747, saying, quote, "The new Air Force One is a state-of-the-art aircraft that has been fitted with high-level security protocols that ensure the safety of the president and his staff. As the president has said recently, there are many enemies of America who have their sights on him, and we use every tool at our disposal to address those threats."
This is the part that I absolutely love. We have a president of the United States of America that doesn't cancel the trip, and the security around him, they do it amazingly well to protect the president of the United States of America. Now, you notice how Anderson Cooper there says, we all knew that this was absurd a month ago. Well, then why didn't you say something about it? Of course, they're angry that they got duped by the security team of the president, that they were on the plane and the president wasn't actually there. Now, a month later, we're all learning how sophisticated the security operation actually was. And regardless, by the way, of your politics, and I would say this specifically to Anderson Cooper, Americans should understand the significance of this. Iran has repeatedly been accused by American officials of plotting to assassinate U.S. officials, including our president. Now, we're talking about security concerns serious enough that the commander-in-chief's movements were disguised. Air Force One was reportedly used as a decoy, and the president was moved through an airport in a catering vehicle. That's not routine presidential security. That's an extraordinary precaution designed around one objective: to make sure anyone potentially watching does not know where the president actually is. And God bless our men and women who protect our president. And there's also another important issue here as well. Some people are going to look at this story and ask why the White House didn't tell the truth publicly at the time. You can hear the disdain in the voice of Anderson Cooper there. We should know, we're the media. Well, the president's security is one of those situations where secrecy and deception can be a part of the protection itself, and I'm glad they did it. You don't announce the president's real location while you're trying to conceal it from a potential adversary who has publicly said they want to kill the president and are planning to do it if they can. You don't tell the world which airplane he's actually aboard, and you certainly don't explain your security protocol in real time, even to the elitist media. Now, the Washington Post reporting also suggests that the deception went remarkably well. right down to people traveling with the president and not necessarily knowing what was even happening for those around the president in his own entourage. Again, I love this. And that's what also tells you something else. This is how big of a threat Iran is to the U.S. and to the President of the United States of America. There are real threats and environments around this president that no other president has ever had to deal with. So we've become accustomed to hearing about threats against Donald Trump more than any other president in my lifetime. And the sad part is the way the media has dealt with all of these assassination attempts of the president is they want you to just become numb to the language so that it's just background noise. This should not be background noise. The president, well, he did the right thing by making sure that he was safe. Those around him did the right thing. And having him transport through foreign airports and catering trucks, that's truly genius. Now, Air Force One doesn't become a decoy for no reason. And the President of the United States doesn't secretly leave a NATO summit aboard another military aircraft unless the people responsible for protecting President Trump believe there's a real reason to take these truly extraordinary precautions, which goes back to the issue with Iran. Why on earth would anyone think that Iran can be trusted with a nuclear weapon? And that's what makes this Washington Post report, for me, so stunning. The headline isn't simply that Donald Trump changed airplanes. The headline is that American security officials believe the Iranian threat was so serious, it was serious enough to create an elaborate presidential disappearing act, hiding the commander-in-chief's actual movements from virtually everyone watching. And the best part about it is this: it worked.
Thank you for listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson. Please make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And for more in-depth news, also subscribe to the Ben Ferguson podcast, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
From red carpets to cozy nights in, Chandler Kinney chose Minky Couture. She lit up Dancing with the Stars, stole scenes in Pretty Little Liars, and now when Chandler designed her dream blanket, she partnered with Minky Couture. Meet the limited edition Chandler Kinney collection at Minky Couture, featuring the Aurora with colors that shimmer like the northern lights and Aqua Serene, calm and dreamy like morning waves. Each blanket is crafted with Minky Couture's award-winning softness in premium plush fabric, in sizes from infant to grande. This is luxury you can feel, but only for a limited time. Shop the Chandler Kinney collection now only at Minky Couture at minkycouture.com. MINKY Couture.com.
Why should you listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand?
We're not boring. A lot of news is boring.
And tedious.
And depressing.
And makes you angry. You don't want to live your life like that.
Hey, I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty.
We're Armstrong and Getty.
We try to bring you the truth.
And help you figure out this crazy modern world.
How about something about a comedic tone?
We have a winner.
Yes. Listen to Armstrong and Getty on demand on the iHeartRadio app,
Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.